Hi guys, so this is a more general review of the CHUWI Herobook Pro. I did do a gaming review last month, so if you want to check that out, go and have a look. But this one's going to be more of a general look at how the laptop performs for kind of word processing and watching YouTube clips and stuff. So for anyone who doesn't know, the CHUWI Herobook is basically a knockoff MacBook. Which you can get on AliExpress and other Chinese retailers, but also on Amazon sometimes. The price varies, but it's really, really cheap for a laptop. So let's start by comparing the CHUWI Herobook Pro to a MacBook Pro. I think it's a 13-inch model. I can't really remember. As you can see, the Herobook is actually quite a bit bigger than the MacBook Pro. And then again, if you put the MacBook on top of the Herobook, you can see there's, I guess, about an inch in width difference between the two. Thickness, the Herobook is thicker than the MacBook, but it's hard to kind of tell much of a difference, to be honest. What we'll say is obviously the MacBook is made out of solid metal, whereas the Herobook is quite flimsy plastic. Okay, so let's have a look at the specs. So it's running 64-bit Windows, it has a Celeron processor with 2 cores and 8 GB of RAM. And then it's got integrated Intel graphics as well. Okay, so next I thought I'd show you how quickly it boots up. And for some reason it just did absolutely nothing on the first attempt. So let's see what happens on the second attempt. Okay, so I tried pressing the power button again and nothing happened. So let's try a third time. And finally it worked. And actually when it does decide to turn on, it's actually quite quick in getting onto the Windows logon screen. Okay, so how does it look? Well, it looks like a fake MacBook Pro, which I guess maybe isn't a bad thing. And the screen is pretty good, to be honest, for the price. I mean, the colours are nice and clear. So on the right hand side, there's a micro SD card reader, headphone jack, and a USB port. And then on the left hand side, there's a micro HDMI, there's the charging socket, and then there's a USB 3 port. And you can actually open and close the lid with one finger without the laptop kind of tipping over, although it does seem to go into standby and get a bit confused when you open the laptop again. Okay, so I guess this laptop is only going to be good for 2 things, and that's kind of watching videos on YouTube and doing things like emails and word processing. So I installed Microsoft Word, and let's just see how it does. And actually opening the software itself, it's fine. There is, however, a bit of a problem with the keyboard. Whether it's just me needing to get used to a new keyboard, I don't know, but it just feels really cheap, and the spacebar kind of seems to ignore the presses unless you get your thumb right in the center of the spacebar, it just seems to be too much of an effort to type. If you were going to write a big long document, I think you'd be constantly kind of having to check what you were doing. As you can see on here, it's an absolute mess. So yeah, this is either just me being a crap typist or something just not good about that keyboard. Okay, so if it's no good for typing, let's see if it's any good for doing things like watching YouTube videos. And I guess this brings us on to the next problem with this laptop. I can't remember the details, but it's got a bit of a crap Wi-Fi chip in it. So it's kind of slow. So I've got fiber broadband, so this slowness of the internet is down to the laptop itself rather than my connection. Um, yeah, it's just kind of, it's okay to an extent, but I gave it a test by putting some 4K videos on. The laptop itself can handle the kind of video fine, but it's just the Wi-Fi, it just buffers forever, which I guess is, well, it depends if you want to watch 4K videos or not, I suppose. Um, and I guess that brings us to the end of this review. So it's a cheap laptop, and I guess you can technically watch some videos on it if you don't mind seeing the spinning wheel all the time, and you could write some emails if you don't mind hammering the space bar with a mallet every time you want to make it work. Um, buy it if you want, or maybe just save up a bit more and buy a Dell. I hope you found the video useful. It would really help me if you press the subscribe button. I've got a few more videos with different bits of technology and some car things coming up. So yeah, hit subscribe and I'll see you later.